beautiful listeners of the And I've Always Said That podcast. We're the And I've Always Said That podcast. Welcome back.
All right.
How you doing?
Hey, people. Still coming off the low from last week of getting banned on TikTok Live.
We are now on YouTube Live.
Yeah, so go subscribe to our YouTube if you're not already watching this on YouTube.
We're almost at 150 subs. I checked last night, we were at like 140.
That's kind of crazy.
That is.
It would be really cool to hit 150 by like the start of summer.
Yeah.
You know?
And I said if we hit 1,000, I'll start doxing people. So like, give us the platform and I will be giving first and last names.
And it will
And
be
photos.
abusing it.
And at 500, maybe we'll release that photo of the people that catfish Taylor.
Yep.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You're going to want to see it.
Yeah.
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 So like, comment, and subscribe.
So getting into, I guess, another debrief.
We had a weekend.
We had a weekend. We did.
I don't even remember the weekend.
It feels like so long
Well, it started
ago.
on Thursday.
Oh my god.
That's a week ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I will say, if for anyone who hasn't noticed, we tend to pre-film a little bit. So sometimes, like, we're super late to topics, and sometimes we're, like, a normal amount late. So this week, feeling like we're late in most regards, but it's okay.
Love.
We're here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we can kind of get into the star of the weekend, though, was that we have a new member of our friend group.
Do you guys want to share?
You wanna share?
Susan.
I was talking about Marcus.
Not the woman we met at the bar on Friday.
Well, she comes into it.
Yeah.
She comes into it.
Aw,
Susan.
We do have a new roommate, and you know, as usual, we wanted to integrate him into our friend group and really see if he could survive.
Haze him a little bit.
A haze,
A little haze.
And
He was initiated.
yeah, he was initiated. We believe that he could take the hazing because he does love American Pie.
And I was, you know, thank you for creating that segue. Thank you.
Cheers.
Because I was going to say, like, you know, normally when we have new people over at our apartment, Joe and I make them drink Captain and Coke and watch American Pie. But not necessary for Marcus.
No.
I would go so far as to say that he's probably just as much of a fan as we are.
I would say that, yeah,
Which
for
is
sure.
crazy.
He was quoting.
He was literally
The
quoting,
movie?
like, before we had even, you know, brought anything up about American Pie, what did he say? He said, every guy should have like, a little slice of Steve Stifler in
He
him.
did say that.
And I was like, you know what? I have
Ooh.
always said that.
Yeah.
And he's a little like Steve Stifler coded.
He
Yeah.
is. He's a little, like, he's cheeky. Like, you don't know what he's going to do or
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
So,
You would know. Taylor was just asking him any and every little itty bitty question that popped into her head, no matter how inclusive. Taylor's saying, and I have a question for you. What question do you have for me?
And I mean, he was taking it like a champ. He really was, you know.
And I even
He
said, I was
was.
like, you don't have to answer this. I'm just asking to try and get to know you better. But, and I went, you know, you don't have to answer. And he answered every question.
Yeah,
yeah.
It was he had a very easy hazing, and
Yeah.
He
he
did.
assimilated very well.
It was a seamless hazing.
uh-huh.
My favorite part about the weekend was when every single time I turned, he was sitting to the right of me. Every single time I turned to my right, he had a new drink in his hand.
He ordered every single drink off the menu at the White Horse.
Working his way through that
A
menu.
vodka milk.
A vodka milk.
Okay, let's count.
He was ordering things that the bartender waitress had never even heard of.
Let's do a roll call for all of the drinks that he had. So we started the night off with I got a Captain and Diet Coke, and Nikki got a Captain and Coke. And he was like, you know what? This is your guys' official drink. Since this is kind of like my introduction, I'm going to get it with you. And thank you, Marcus. That was very sweet.
It was very courteous.
Very, very
you
courteous.
know.
So he got that. I then turned to my right about 15 minutes later. He now has a tequila sunrise. He's an island boy. He has an island drink.
Which I will say, at that point, I was like, oh, like, interesting combination.
Yeah.
Little did I know.
Yeah.
Oh,
I did drink.
where the night was
He didn't
going.
even have the vodka milk by that point.
I did drink half his tequila sunrise. So then I turn again. He has a vodka martini with extra olives.
He got it extra dirty.
If you
got
were to
it so
see
filthy, the dirtiest
the
martini
dirtiest,
I've
it's
seen
so
in my
filthy,
life.
you throw it out.
Throw it out of the bar.
It's a little slutty martini.
Yeah.
So
So imagine my surprise when, like, you know, we're literally at a dive bar, a place where I've seen some
Questionable people.
questionable things, questionable people, and this man is holding a martini glass.
I mean, I didn't even know they had those glasses.
I didn't even know.
He would get along well with the man that wears a velvet blazer to the White Horse.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
Where was he when we needed him most?
Not
For
to be
some
found.
reason, like at our favorite bar, the White Horse, who we talked about many times, there's seems to be a reoccurring customer who is always in a burgundy velvet blazer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know they would get along for sure.
Marcus also has this habit. He's a gentleman. He asks every single server who comes up to him what their name is. So every single time the waitress is coming and giving him a drink, I was drunk. I don't remember her name. He was like,
Samantha.
Thank you, Samantha. Oh, that's so lovely, Samantha.
And he's like looking for the waitress to get the check.
He's like, Samantha.
I need to find
I
Samantha.
need to find Samantha.
Like, who the fuck is Samantha?
Okay, so he has his martini, and I went, oh, I love olives. And he was like, you can have my olives. Thank you, King. I did have about half of them. That's when the vodka milk
Comes
Came into play.
So he flags down Samantha, and he's like, hey, I'll have a White Russian next. Meghan and Taylor.
I was like, you're gonna.
And
I'm
what
all
questions
for-
did you have for Marcus regarding his vodka milk?
I don't remember.
I mean,
I didn't know it was happening until it was there. I also didn't even know what a White Russian was.
I just kept going vodka milk.
the reason why I knew what a White Russian was is because the buxom plumping lip glosses used to be named after like fun things, and I had the lip gloss named White Russian.
That was Jacqueline Hill's favorite lip
Yeah,
gloss.
so I knew what it was because of buxom. But when he ordered, Megan looked at him and went, "A vodka milk."
Oh.
What? She was like, "What is in that? It's milk, right?" And I don't even remember. I think we looked it up, and
It's Kahlua and milk, right?
Yeah.
I gotta say, guys, when he got it and
He let us all try.
let us all try it, it tasted kind of good.
I mean, yeah, but right after the filthiest, dirtiest martini,
And the tequila sunrise and the Captain and Coke.
His
Like,
drink
it-
just kept getting sweeter.
Yeah. Ooh, you're so right.
instead of dessert, he had
A vodka milk.
Vodka milk. That was delicious. And then what else?
He
Did you
ended it
ever-
with a frangelico.
But did you ever tell the vodka milk story on the pod?
No.
No, that it's a thing upstate.
Yeah. Well, that one bar.
Oh, so my brother goes to school upstate, and his roommate's from Syracuse. And apparently there's this one bar in Syracuse that's famous for its vodka milks. And that's what everyone gets. And I'm not even saying it to be funny, like calling a White Russian a vodka milk. People genuinely drink a glass of milk with a shot of vodka in it.
That's disgusting.
Vodka milk.
Like, but here's the thing, though, is how can it be your specialty? That's like saying, like, you know, going to a restaurant and be like, the Coke here is so good, you know?
Yeah.
The Diet Coke is, like, incredible.
You ever been to McDonald's?
Popeyes.
Popeyes? Call Nikki, specifically.
We did have it again today. Popeyes would absolutely love if you wanted to do a product placement or sponsor us.
Or just give
Nikki
Nikki like
has-
a $25 gift card.
She has had a chicken sandwich. I think out of the 2 weeks that she's discovered Popeyes, you've had it 10 times.
I think you're like 10% Popeyes now.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
losing the plot. After the White Russian, he flags down Samantha and goes, "I love a frangelico." I looked at him and said, "What is that?"
Oh, my
What
So
is
did
that?
Samantha.
Yeah.
She said, "Well, no. First, she went, 'You're gonna get sick,'
She goes, with
You're
all these
mixing a
liquors,
lot.
you're gonna get sick.
and then she was like, 'I'm gonna have to see if we have that.'"
And then he starts explaining the look of the bottle. He's like, it'll be like yay high and has like a gold label on it.
Like,
Like
that's
you can't miss it.
Crazy thing to say. Like, oh my God, that is so crazy.
And she eventually finds it, brings it over in this little like goblet glass that I've also never seen.
They were pulling out all the stops.
They
literally
they
were.
knew a man of importance came in.
The president was there.
I mean, they were busting out the fine china for him. I mean, they probably had one of each of those glasses, and he gets it, and we're like, "What is it?" And he was like, "Oh, it's hazelnut." And
I
was
did
like,
have a sip of this.
I was like,
Yeah.
hazelnut. And he was like, it's a dessert. He went, "Oh, I never have it, first. This is my dessert." And I was like, interesting. And he is very gracious. Every single thing, every plate of food that was in front of him, every drink, he was like, "Do you want to try? Do you want to try?" Very nice. Of course did. Every single time. Because why not?
They were kind of delicious.
And I gotta say, guys, the Frangelico,
Delish.
it kind of tasted like coffee.
It's kind
It
of
was
a
like a coffee
beautiful way
creamer.
to end your night.
It is
Yeah.
I could never ever drink a full glass of it.
so sickeningly sweet.
Yeah.
It just tasted like liquid hazelnut.
But like,
coffee.
imagine that in an espresso martini.
It almost tasted like a simple syrup that you'd put in a latte or something. It was delicious.
It did.
One
yeah.
sip was enough.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so how many different drinks was that? We have the
Captain
and
and
Coke, the Tequila Sunrise,
vodka
the
martini.
filthiest, dirtiest vodka martini you'd
Vodka
ever had in your
milk.
life.
Wait.
We had 5.
We
White
have the
Russian.
receipt, and I'm pretty sure he had a drink with gin in it.
He
Yes,
did.
he
He
did.
got a drink, or did he just get like a gin on the rocks?
I think he did.
Yeah.
He
Get gin on the rocks.
He got a gin on the rocks too.
No, because I was at the end of the table, so I did catch that. Yeah, he did. He had that. That was the round Peter
Yes.
bought him.
And you know what? As someone who lived in London for a little bit, I'm
A
sure
gin and lemonade.
I'm sure Peter was so happy. British Peter was so happy to buy Marcus that gin.
Yeah.
So let's get into the Peter of it all.
So
Peter
should we
and
go
Susan-
into Paint a Drop for the
We
week?
can do it early in the
Yeah,
episode.
we can.
This is a bite-sized episode.
Yeah.
Roll the song.
Penny dropper of the week. Penny dropper of the week. We're serving pennies, having sex with penny dropper of the week. Penny dropper of the week. Penny dropper of the week. We're serving pennies, having sex with penny dropper of the week.
So, when we first walked into the White Horse, by the way, this place is always dead. We are the party there.
Yeah.
We walk in and the
I'll just say for context, Joe and I were there the weekend before. And first of all, youngest, hottest people there, always.
we always are.
Always. There was probably a collective, 10 people there. Like, the two
Including
of us.
us.
Including us. 2 of us at a booth, probably, another few people at another booth, and, 3 people at the bar. On a
Yeah.
Friday, and we went there the following Friday.
It was packed. when
Panties
we
were
walked-
dropping.
Yeah,
Yeah.
panties were dropping. It was packed when we walked in, so we're like, okay, let's go upstairs. Usually, if for whatever reason the bottom is packed or is just generally not as spacious, we'll go upstairs. We go up, and there is a raging party going on, and there's a sign that says
Happy birthday, Peter.
"Happy Birthday, Peter." And we're like,
Closed
okay,
for a private party.
closed for a private party. Yeah. So we go back down. We miraculously find a table that's big enough to fit us. And the whole night we're kind of having this joke. We're like,
Is that Peter?
Is that Peter? We also placed bets on how old we thought Peter was turning.
Mm-hmm.
Not 87.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we were all placing bets, and then our friend Ben, who was with us at the time, he looked at me and he was like, do you want to go up to the party and see if we can find Peter? So we go upstairs, and at this point we realize that not only is the second floor not the private party, because we go into the second floor, we start schmoozing some people, and then, no one there knows who Peter is. Ben asked the bartender, and he was like, hey, do you know a Peter? And he was like, I can't say I do. And we were like, okay, this is weird, so then we realized there's actually a third floor to the White Horse, and that's where the private party was. And we walked in at the tail end of it. There was 6 people.
Wait, you went to the third floor?
Yeah.
What did it look like?
It looked exactly the same as the second floor.
Guys, I know where we're having our next party.
Is there a bar on the third floor?
Yeah, it looked exactly the same as the second floor. But we walked in and there was literally like 6 people like in the center of the room at one table, and there was like a
DJ?
No, not a server. There was a waiter there, and he was like, sorry guys, like we're closed for a private party. And Ben was pushing a little bit. He was like, I know Peter, like, can you let me in? Like, please, can we just ask how old he is? Because we had made bets on it.
I know Peter, but I just need to know how old he is. Please, please. I know him.
Yeah. So we never found Peter, but we went back downstairs and kind of
Told us all you had a slice of cake and found out Peter was 87
Yeah,
in a wheelchair and was wearing a party hat.
You shared
To
a
be
little
exact.
lie.
we just were joshing you. I love lying.
Yeah, what caught up to you after? Because, wait, how did we meet Peter?
So he came over, but he came
Because we were sitting by the
behind me.
bathroom.
Oh, we
Ew.
kept saying
He
And
came.
you went.
He came behind me, and he was like,
We're laughing. We're having a good time. No, you were next to me.
No, he
Yeah.
was in the bathroom. He walked out of the bathroom
And he came behind
came
me.
over in between you and Marcus.
and I literally like,
recoiled.
you know,
Yeah.
Peter was very old. I was like, what is about to happen? I literally had like a
Oh, it's going to
physical
be
reaction.
that kind of night.
Literally, I was like, I have seen this film before. So, I was like, so uncomfortable, and I turn around, and he's like, right, you guys are having,
Too
can you
much
keep
fun.
it down?
Keep it down.
You mind keeping it down? And I was like, what?
I think he
And-
saw your face and then felt really, really bad.
And then
Yeah.
he like paused for like 3 seconds and was like, right, I'm just joking. I was like,
He was
Peter,
British,
I
by
don't
the way.
know you.
He was British, by the way.
yeah.
By the way, we
obvious.
were calling him Peter. We didn't know his name.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And we didn't know his name.
And so then he starts to leave, and I think it was Ben who goes,
Uh-huh.
"Hey, we didn't know. Wait, what's your name? Like,
Or
come
maybe
over, let's
he
hang out."
was like, or maybe he asked, "Are you Peter?" or something, and because he was like, "Wait, yeah, like I am Peter. Like
His
my
name
is
was
Peter."
Peter.
So his name ended up being Peter, but he wasn't the Peter having the birthday on the 3rd floor.
We were like,
He
you
was
know
just
there's
random British Peter.
We were like, there's a party for Peter up there. And he was like, no.
And we're like, "Happy birthday, Peter!" We start singing "Happy,
Happy
Birthday,"
birthday.
Screaming.
clapping, cheering.
The entire bar.
bar floor is now singing "Happy Birthday" to Peter. His wife and 2 children look over like fearful at us because they think Peter has just lied to us.
Yep. Like,
When really we're just doing a bit.
I know all of you were thinking that this didn't happen. I promise you, the entire bar was singing happy birthday, clapping, cheering, whatever. It was so funny. And then, like, you know, I think Peter went down to sit with his wife and kids and whatever. And then
He buys us around.
we bought him a drink first.
We
Yes.
did?
We
Yes.
bought him a drink? I didn't know that.
That was the one
That's
gin drink.
the gin. Okay, so that's
And then Marcus got a gin drink in return because he
Oh,
said, "I'll
you're
have what
right.
Peter's
Yes.
having if it's on Peter."
that's what it, yeah. So
Makes sense.
yes. So, we got Peter a drink, and then, you know, like whatever, it was great moment. And then a few minutes later, Samantha comes back over to us, and she's like, "Next round's on Peter." Mind you, there was like 8 of us there.
Yeah.
There was a lot.
And
There
he
were a
bought
lot
us
of
all
us.
around, which was so generous.
That's why he's the panty dropper of the week.
That's
Yeah.
why
Penny
he's the
dropper of the
penny
week.
dropper of
Yeah.
the week.
And we're not even into the Susan of it all
And
yet.
it's the
Yeah.
Susan of it all, which I, you know, respect where respect is due. Like, Susan's also a panty dropper.
He's
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
my God.
and
no
also
king is a king without his queen.
queen.
Yeah.
And like, young Peter, young Susan, we saw photos. Panty droppers.
Yeah.
across the
droppers.
board.
Smash.
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 And
pulled
they
them.
were smashing that night.
Yeah.
They were smashing.
Yeah, Peter did make an announcement. He goes, "She said I could have sex tonight."
We're shagging when we get home.
Oh my
And Susan
god.
was like, she never said no.
She didn't. So,
Like
like,
cheeky.
you know, the Peter of it all, he calms down, whatever. So then all of a sudden, there's an empty seat at the head of the table, and all of a sudden, this woman sits down, double fisting gin glasses, by the way, and she just starts going, I'm your grandmother. I'm old enough to be your grandmother. I'm so old.
Also, Susan said she was like in her 70s.
She's
72.
Susan looked like she was 55.
Yeah.
She had beautiful, I mean, to paint you a picture, like long black hair with bangs. She looked so youthful. She was
Yes.
wearing cool clothes.
Yeah.
I mean, she had an air of sophistication about her.
Young at heart, yeah.
Yeah.
And she
Honestly,
just kept going like, I am
yeah.
so old. I'm old enough to be your grandmother. I can't even look at you guys right now because I am so old. And mind you, unprompted. Like, we didn't call her over. We didn't say anything. She sits down, puts her double-fisted gin drinks, and she just going at it.
Well, you forgot.
She was inspecting the boys who were with us.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Are these good boys? And we said,
She's like, I'm a gran, I'll kick him out.
I'll kick
Granny,
them
I'll
out.
kick 'em out.
I'm your granny.
I'm your grandmother.
And we said, Marcus, very good boy. Chase, Vanessa's boyfriend. Nikki,
Horrible.
roasting.
Bad.
Naughty.
Awful.
Naughty.
Like, he's a bad boy.
He beat him up.
Such a bad boy.
Beat him up, Susan. She
And
kept
Susan
punching
did
him.
beat him up.
Susan did punch him.
Yeah.
In the shoulder, not like the face.
I was
Yeah.
going to say, though, because we all, I think before we figured out who she was, I think someone might have said it, and she went, I'm Mrs. Peter.
Yes. And
Do you
then
remember that?
You're
Mrs.
right.
And then we called him Mr.
Mrs.
Susan.
Yeah.
Mr. Susan,
After
yeah,
we found out
because
how
she
awesome Susan was.
because
she
she
was no
was
longer
Miss
Mrs.
Peter.
Peter. He became Mr. Susan.
well,
Yeah.
she said like, I am my own person and you ladies need to be your own person and the men at this table can fuck off.
Yeah.
So
Queen.
And
then
I've
we
always
started
said
and then
that.
we started Susan. It
Once
was
again, the whole
The
restaurant
whole
got
bar.
in on it.
Whole
Whole bar.
Once again, her children, who were probably about 30, looking at us terrified because once again, their parents had come over to the table.
and they were
Well, when the daughter was waiting for the bathroom, she was like, thank you so much for being so nice to them.
Aw.
And I was like,
And she was the son or the daughter was filming us for a second at first when we were all chanting Susan. Like, we really had a special moment.
And
yeah.
I said the next day, I went, Nikki, none of us asked for a picture with them. Why didn't we ask for a picture
like, that's
with them?
so unlike
that,
us.
that was a foul on the play on our part.
We weren't taking any dispos that night, so unfortunately, it
You're right.
wasn't top of mind.
You're
I
right.
think.
Why
Yeah.
don't we have a white horse, like a running white horse dispo
We
roll?
should, but also that's how
Yeah.
living in the moment we were.
You're
Yeah.
so
That's
right.
How present we were. I mean, that's gonna be a core memory for me forever.
You're
Not-
so right.
It was a
no
core
one was
memory
on-
for Peter and Susan.
Yeah.
And their
Yeah.
two 30-year-old children.
No
Yeah.
one was on their phones. I mean, we were literally just sitting there laughing the
shooting
whole
the
night.
shit.
Literally.
We were literally shooting the
It was
shit.
a magical night at the
And
White
like
Horse.
thinking that we're gonna need to take a group trip to Boca Raton to visit Peter and Susan where they reside in Florida.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, they live in Florida now?
Yeah.
Oh, so
They were
I'm
just
thinking,
visiting for their grandchild's second birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking
In
what
Brooklyn.
I'm needing to hear is we're going to Boca.
Yeah. We're
On the
going to
search
Boca
for
Raton.
Peter and Susan.
We're becoming Boca babes.
I really wish that we got their contact information.
It's just an email.
I feel
or
like we could
something.
find them.
Do you think they're going to go to the White Horse tomorrow looking for us?
If they're still here,
They're probably not still
they're
here,
probably not still
but
here.
damn.
But now they're going to go to that bar every time trying to recreate the
For
fun they
sure.
had that night.
For
And they never
sure.
will.
Every time
Unless
they
we're
see,
there.
Unless we're there.
Every
Yeah.
time they see a group of 20-something-year-old girls at a bar, they're like,
Yeah.
no, it's not gonna be the
Do
same.
you think they remembered us? How we remember them?
Like, do you think they're like sitting? With
I'd
their-
imagine at least the next day at the birthday party they were telling the stories because they probably thought it was
Like,
so
You'll
insane.
never believe what happened to us last night at the bar.
At the pub.
At the pub. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was
Panty droppers.
those were our panty droppers.
Yeah.
Mr. and Mrs.
Well-
Susan.
Well, they did show us at some point, like randomly, a photo of the two of
I
them
think
when
because
they
we were
first
saying how
got
young
together.
they looked.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
for two people in their 70s, Peter looked like, I mean, he looked younger, but he didn't look like
He didn't look
he
like
was in his 70s.
Yeah, he didn't look like
He
was
looked
in his
older,
70s.
but not in his 70s older.
Mhm. But Susan.
So we're like, there's no
and
way. And
If
so then they
she
showed us
if
a
she
photo.
told me she was like 50, I'd believe her.
Yeah.
Panty droppers. Yeah.
Yeah. Next on the docket.
You finally got a TV?
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Okay, so Marcus, little gentleman that he is, the next day, he was like, I want to do something for you guys. I want to do something for you guys. Please. He was about to start playing maid. Like, the apartment was already clean, bless him. But he was like, if you don't let me clean something, like, can I please put up your TV? Can I please mount your TV? Please, 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 I want to. And I was like, I was fearing that if I said no, he was going to turn around in an apron with a chef hat.
The SpongeBob maid costume.
No, literally, he was
He was
about to
gonna cook you like muffins.
No, literally. And so him and his little engineer self somehow did that in an hour. It was
Literally.
It was crazy.
From start to finish, like, I was just thinking, you know, Joe and I wouldn't even be able to hang it by ourselves, but like even figuring out the mount itself would have taken us like 3.
He was like trying to explain to me how all of it worked, and he was like, you know, this, and that, and that's and I was like, you got it, King. I understand.
Me when anyone explains a card game to me.
Yeah. And he did it so quickly. Like, it was crazy.
We were getting live updates.
To celebrate, you know, him, to thank him for doing that, and to celebrate our first outing officially as roommates, we all got Popeyes.
Hell yeah, we did.
Within the last week and a half, I think I've had Popeyes like at least 3 times.
We had it today.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hence my product placement.
The first time we had Popeyes as a unit, the 4 of us. Because every time I say, oh, we should get Popeyes, you go, I already had it today.
Wait, no, we had it last week.
Well, we just got the biscuits. We didn't get food. But when we came over on Saturday, I was like, oh, should we get Popeyes? Because we were watching American Reunion. And Nikki goes, I already had it for breakfast.
I keep getting shamed by
You're
you
not
guys.
shamed.
I'm
Not
not
shamed.
shamed. I'm just saying I wanted to have it with you earlier than
Okay,
today.
I'm gonna
Well,
say
you
this
gotta
once.
plan your day ahead.
I'm gonna say this once. No one is saying it's weird. No one is saying it's bad. If
Okay.
anything, we're admiring your
If
determination.
anything, I'm saying I wanted to have it with you on Saturday, but you didn't allow me that honor due to the fact that you had it for breakfast.
You gotta give us some notice.
Okay. Plan better next time, I guess.
Which is why I texted this morning before you got it for lunch, and I was
Yes.
like, should we get Popeyes for dinner? Because I knew I had to plan ahead. Because with
Thank
you,
you.
I don't know if you were going to get it for lunch.
It's my version of meal prepping.
I think between the 4 of us, you especially, we are going to be keeping them in business
Yeah.
for as long as we all live.
Like, I never really understood fast food. Like, a lot of it just grosses me out.
I like Dairy Queen.
It's not, like, really fast food,
That's
though.
fast food.
fast
Yeah, it's
food.
fast food.
It's ice cream.
No.
Like
the
your chicken
chicken
bite box?
The chicken basket is fast food. That's fast
I know,
food.
but I have a chicken
If
basket,
it has a
like,
drive-through, it's fast food.
Okay, but I have it, like, twice a year.
Okay.
Like,
Only now because it's unavailable.
yeah, but, like, I don't really, like...
If it was readily available, you'd have it all the time.
Like, I'm not someone who eats fast food a lot. Like, that's my point. I get it now. I understand.
Why, anytime alcohol hits my system, I need a cheeseburger from McDonald's.
Yeah, see, like,
anything
I can't.
from Taco Bell.
I can't do...
Nikki is
Either of
literally
them.
the person that they are making the Popeyes ads for.
Love that
Chicken from
Popeyes.
Popeyes.
Every time that flashes in front of her, she's like, oh my God, I just remembered. Like, I need some Popeyes right now.
Guys, we cannot spend another episode talking about Popeyes. All right, let's
Okay,
keep
losing the
keep
plot.
losing the
But
plot.
anyway,
Keep it
we
moving.
celebrated with Popeyes. And it was really funny, and it was great, and he's a trooper, and you guys will be hearing a lot more about him. You may
We'll have
even
him
see-
on.
Yeah, you guys will definitely
He's requested
see him.
to come on.
He's requesting to come on. We're also requesting him to come on.
Yeah.
So you'll be hearing more about him. You'll be seeing more of him. But look out for our new roommate.
I'm gonna have to need.
Hello, Marcus.
I was gonna say something and it did not come out. My brain was working faster than my mouth. I was
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say I'm gonna need to have to add.
And what questions do you have for Marcus?
I was gonna say I'm gonna have to ask him more questions.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's
We'll
that's
doing
gonna
a little
be part.
interview.
That's gonna be part of his true hazing.
Yeah.
Because he has escaped the fury of our hazing because he is more like us than I thought he was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we're going to have to get Taylor in to haze him.
Yeah.
Bring out the big guns.
We're bringing out the big guns.
Yeah.
So start planning
Your interview questions.
Start planning your
Ooh.
interview questions.
Yeah.
I got him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Marcus, get ready.
Oh, and I forgot the funniest thing that Marcus said this weekend. We were saying to him, he said, "Oh, I hope everyone liked me." We went, "Everyone loved you. Everyone loved you." And we said, "Oh, did you like our friends? Did you like Meghan and Taylor?" And he went, "Yeah, I loved them. They kind of remind me of Meghan Trainor." And we like, what? And he was like, well, you know, their names are Meghan and Taylor, and you keep saying Meghan Taylor, and it makes me think of Meghan Trainor.
So to Marcus, as a unit, we are Meghan Trainor.
It's so funny.
I'm all
That is
about that bass.
It's your couple name.
No trouble.
So, yeah. Hi, Marcus.
Hey,
Hey,
Marcus.
Hey.
Hello, Marcus.
We will be having a welcome Marcus party when Nikki and I are back from our vacations in June.
I can't wait for that.
Neither can we.
Yeah.
I thought of a drink that we could make a signature drink.
Do you want us offline about it? So it's a surprise.
Oh, okay.
A surprise to us?
No, to like, you know, our thousands of fans that are watching.
No, but I want to know.
followers.
We can cut it out.
He was talking about a painkiller.
Oh, you're so right.
Pain.
You're so right.
Okay, well, veering away from Popeyes and vodka milks for the second week in a row. I saw Taylor Swift this weekend.
Oh my God, yeah.
And do you want to hear what questions I have about Taylor Swift?
What questions do you have for me about Taylor Swift?
So, what were the surprise songs that you heard, Megan?
Red. Yeah. And he got my heart. I think he knows. And that was the first time she ever performed. I think he knows.
Crazy.
But yeah, just to make it quick, because everything you hear about it is true. It is a magical religious experience.
Mm-hmm.
She performs for 3.5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I was tired from just kind of standing in my seat for the 3.5 hours, so I can't imagine how Miss Swift felt going back and forth on the stage with like 80 costume changes, performing over 30 songs, dancing her little heart out. She performed. But there was a point where I did not think I was going to make it to see Taylor Swift. And that is...
this makes me really nervous because I'm flying tomorrow and I don't...
Block your ears for this next part. Because I was originally seeing a concert on Saturday, so I could not... the concert was in Boston. I went to the Foxborough show. So I was unable to fly on Saturday, so I had to fly Sunday morning.
You can say what concert it was.
No, I'm not going. Redacted. Did you listen to Brittany Broski's podcast this week?
Of course.
Yeah. So much like Brittany Broski, redacted.
Yeah. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Anyway.
I was going to sing a song and then I just went,
Anyway. So I had to be in Boston essentially by 3 p.m. because we had gotten a bus to take us from the city of Boston to Foxborough Stadium. So I had booked a 10:30 a.m. flight. It left at 10:30 and it got into Boston at 11:40, which gave me enough time to take an Uber from the, I'm blanking on words, airport to Quinn's sister's house to drop off my stuff, maybe like get a little bit more ready because I had done my makeup and my hair at home, which looking back now,
thank God.
Thank God. But I was like, oh, I'll change. Maybe I'll do a touch up. We'll take some photos and then we'll go and we'll have a great time. I get on the plane at around probably
10:01, you were telling me.
Yeah, I was on it by 10:01.
Yeah.
But then around like 10:30, 10:40, I'm looking at my phone. I'm like, we should have taken off by now. Why are we just sitting on the tarmac? Whatever.
Red flag number one.
I'm just watching TikToks. I don't care. I'm like, you know what? We'll get there when we get there at this point. I'm on the plane. What are they going to do? Deboard the plane? You know what they did?
Deboarded the plane.
They deboarded the plane at 11:40, the time we were supposed to land in Boston.
Oh my
And the reason was?
They had put fuel in the plane. Upon inspection, they put too much fuel in the plane. So they said they had to take fuel out of the plane.
I feel like they were a little liars.
That was the explanation they gave us while we were sitting on the tarmac. And then about 5 minutes after they had given us that explanation, they said, actually, we're going to go ahead and deboard. Get off.
See, I'm no engineer, but like, why do you have, since when is there too much fuel? And also, like, if there's too much fuel in it, take it out.
Also, I know.
Take a little straw tube thing.
Siphon it out.
Literally.
Suck it up.
I know you don't drive.
Literally, Charlie Kelly,
But
suck
when
it
you're-
up.
But when you're driving a car and you go to the gas station and you're putting gas in the car,
It
the
stops.
pump will click. It
Yeah.
won't. It physically will not let you put any more gas in your car, so you can't fill it up too much.
Yeah.
Why does the airplane not have a clicker?
Literally, or just
It's an airplane.
Unfill it.
But
Unfill it.
wouldn't, if they filled it up too much, it like come out?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever. So we have deboarded. So I'm thinking this is just like a quick little deboarding, and then I hear someone talk to a gate agent. And at this point, the smart people probably all went to the help desk and said, when's the next flight to Boston? Get me on it. So this is around the part where the next flights to Boston leaving out of JFK that day are selling out. The crucial moments.
Mm-hmm.
And I am sitting at gate 2, terminal 3 of JFK, sobbing my eyes out. Because I hear one of the gate agents to say to someone, and they go, I don't know when we're leaving. It might be 5 p.m. Which I start sobbing. I am now inconsolable at my gate. I am calling my house phone, no answer. I'm calling my mother, no answer. So then I have to call my dad.
Last resort.
Last resort. That is not a guy you want to call when you're sobbing at your gate.
Mm-hmm.
Because upon calling him, he goes, why are you crying? And I go, because I'm really sad and disappointed. He goes, you can't control it. There's no reason to cry. And I said, but I'm really sad. And he goes, I know that. But he goes, have you exhausted all your options? I said, no. He goes, well, pull yourself together and go to the help desk and see if they have another flight to Boston that day. And I went, okay.
God, that's such a dad thing. My dad would have done the same thing, except
Yeah.
meaner. Oh,
Wasn't very nice.
yeah.
But he's like, just get yourself together and go to the help desk. He goes, there's no point in crying over something you can't control, and especially until you know you've exhausted all of your options. I said, okay. So then I hang up on him, stopping. I get myself together. I'm walking to the help desk. I'm like, trying to make it look like I wasn't just crying. So then I go to the help desk and I go, hello, lovely lady.
Everyone is pointing me in your direction.
Everyone is pointing me in your direction. Do you have any other flights to Boston today? And she goes, they're all sold out. 'Cause the crucial moments were the moments where I was sobbing on the phone.
Yeah.
To my dad. And I go, okay, what do you suggest? And she goes, I could put you on a standby for the next flight, which is at noon. And I was like, I'd like to do that. So then I give her my license and she puts my information in. So I'm now on standby for this flight. And due to the fact that I was so late showing up, you know, due to sobbing, I'm now like 10 on the standby list, which is there's not going to be 10 seats open.
Yeah.
Especially for a flight that just got deboarded
Yeah.
with 40 people.
Yeah.
So then at this point, I'm a little more chill. I'm feeling more chill. Quinn has FaceTimed me, who I went to Taylor Swift with. So Quinn has talked me off the ledge. My mom has called me back. She talked me off the ledge. And then I got a free meal voucher, which was so
Awesome.
awesome.
It was the least they could do.
So I took my butt to Jamba Juice, and I got a razzmatazz smoothie.
That was $12 probably, and then some.
Yeah, I think it was $8 and change, and they said, what size? And I said, give me the biggest one you have. I have money to spend. So I got my razzmatazz smoothie, and then I sat back at the gate waiting patiently for my flight to reboard and or to be called miraculously for the standby flight that was leaving in just an hour. I am not called for the standby flight. So at this point, I'm looking up all options. I'm like, it's too late to take a bus. Can't take a bus. I'm like, what's Amtrak like? I'm like, if I leave right now, I could make this Amtrak train that'll get me in at 5 p.m. It's also $200.
Yeah.
I'm like, also, if I leave right now, I can go to LaGuardia and make another flight. Once again, $400. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to let go and let the universe. At which point I'm texting all of you and I'm like, please give me good vibes.
Wait,
I'm asking you to light Gorgeous.
And I did. I lit her.
You lit her?
I did. I lit Gorgeous, and I sent you a picture, and I said, you can speak to her, please.
And then I said, dearest Gorgeous, please get me on this flight to see Taylor Swift, and I will sing her song Gorgeous in your honor tonight. And then soon after, I see the door open, and I see them wheel a little old lady, because she's in a wheelchair, so she gets priority boarding. Down the little, what's that called? The hallway? I think it has a name, but I'm just going to call it the hallway.
The hallway,
The hallway to the plane.
The tarmac.
No,
No.
it's the plane
They're
hallway.
wheeling her on the tarmac.
It's the plane
She's
hallway.
directing traffic.
Oh my god, wait. There was a lady directing traffic when I was walking here. And she literally was like, where the fuck are y'all coming from? Like looking at people that were passing her. I don't know if she was talking about cars or people, but that was really funny.
That was like when we went to your apartment on Saturday and there was a monk directing traffic.
yeah! Oh my god!
monk was directing traffic outside the bar.
We still don't know where he could have come from.
A monk. He was directing traffic. I thought he was looking for a taxi or an Uber. No, he was directing traffic. I was like, what in the Saturday is going on? Just a monk directing traffic.
Just another day in New York City.
So anyway,
Just another day in Fide-Eye.
they roll the wheelchair lady onto the plane, not the tarmac. So then I have at this point made friends with the woman with adult braces next to me.
Yes.
Because she started, I'm not talking to her. She started talking to me first. So then we have now kind of trauma bonded. She was coming from Atlanta. This was her layover flight to Boston because she was seeing her niece graduate.
Aww.
So then I go, they're wheeling her on. She goes, that's a good sign. That's a good sign. Yes, it is.
That's a good sign.
That's a good sign.
I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Well, I had braces.
We all had braces. We're
all
allowed
did.
to.
I've
We all
had
had
really
braces.
fucked up mouth situations. I'm about to. I
In
can make fun of her.
solidarity,
Yeah, I can
I
make
had
fun
braces.
of whoever I want.
I had
Anyways.
braces for most of my child.
you were a braces survivor. It's your God-given right to go.
The stupid palate expander.
I had double palate expander for both times I had braces and rubber bands at the same time.
I did too.
Hell yeah, bro.
Well, I had braces twice, bands twice. I only had the palate expander once.
I just
top and bottom.
run-of-the-mill braces.
I had braces.
I didn't have any of that fancy.
double rubber bands, and I would open my mouth in
And
class
they'd
and
break.
shoot across the room.
Yeah.
You'd be able to go like this.
Yeah.
And then I went too far, and it would go.
You're like
Yeah.
chewing like.
The worst is when it flick your lip, like when it would break and you.
I still have scars on the inside of my mouth from my braces.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I
Oh,
never
yeah.
had
Any-
rubber bands.
Anyway.
Aren't you lucky?
Yeah.
Anyway. The adult braces queen.
The adult braces.
queen.
We are now boarding the plane together. She's in the back. I'm a little bit more towards the front.
Is this for the stand? Well, you were on the stand.
No, they're
yeah,
reboarding my
okay,
flight,
okay.
which is now a little emptier due to the fact that, a few lucky souls got on the other flights to Boston and got to ride standby on the flight that had left like 20 minutes prior. So then we're waiting in the plane tunnel, and she whips out her phone, and she goes, Megan, say hi to Snapchat!
Megan, say hi to Snapchat.
You sound like that girl from Zoe 101.
Stacey. So I'm just kind of waving at her phone. She didn't ask to add me on Snapchat. I'm just featured on her Snapchat with a beauty filter to the nines, by the way.
Yeah.
And then she's in front of me, so we're walking. I said, have a good flight. She goes, you too. And then I sit in my seat, and I turn to the man next to me, and I go, I think we've been here before. Now that I've talked to a stranger, I'm like, I might as well talk to other strangers. This man wanted me dead. He wanted to not talk to me whatsoever. He just wanted to sit there with his headphones on. He went,
Yeah.
I said, okay.
Zip my lip.
Yeah.
Don't have to tell me twice.
Taking the hint.
So then by the time we get into Boston, it's probably about like 2:30. And the bus to the stadium is leaving at 3. Oh no, we land at like 3:15 and the bus is leaving at like 3:50. That was it. And you know what was happening in the city of Boston on Sunday? The most traffic you've ever seen in your entire life.
Oh my god.
So I changed in the airport bathroom because I now have no time to go to Quinn's house. Quinn's sister's house. So then I change in the airport bathroom. I get in an Uber, which also takes like 10 minutes to get there due to the traffic. Another 20 minutes just to get out of the airport, and then another like 20 to get to the bus stop. Missed a bus. Missed a bus that we had already paid for. But luckily, but not so luckily, Quinn did not leave me in the dirt due to the fact that their Uber from Quinn's sister's house to the city of Boston, like the city center or whatever, canceled on them. So then they had to like emergency like get in Quinn's sister's car and start driving. All the major roads are apparently closed. It usually takes them, I think, like 20 minutes to drive from her sister's house to like this part of Boston. 50 minutes.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Quinn also missed the bus. So then we all pile into Quinn's sister's car and just start driving to, oh God, what was his name? It was like Fernando or something. We're driving to Fernando's house because he lives kind of close to the
Who
stadium.
the fuck is Fernando?
Quinn's sister's, Quinn, I don't know if it's your sister's husband or her boyfriend, but I'm pretty sure it's her boyfriend. So you could let me know in the comments down below, Quinn. her sister's something. It's like their friend's house, but I think it's more his friend.
Okay.
So we're driving to Fernando's house, which I don't think it was. His name wasn't Fernando either, but it was another odd name with an F.
Okay.
So we're going to Fernando's house.
Frangelico?
Frangelico. No, it wasn't Frangelico. That was the
Francisco?
Friday.
Francisco.
Wait.
Francisco?
Who did I tell this name to?
Is it? It's not Francesco.
No, it wasn't
No.
Francesco.
Different guy.
I don't know. Whatever. I go to his house. We parked the car because we figured an Uber would be less expensive from his house because he's about only 20 minutes from the stadium. So we go to his house. We get Burger King chicken fries on the way. By the way, delicious. And then we get to the stadium. And all well. We get there. We have some time to hang out. Got some merch. And then Miss Swift came on.
I feel like you got there at like 5:30 p.m.
Yeah.
This feels like a...
I lived 8 days in that one day.
Yeah, like I from the story, I would think that you got there like 5 minutes before she came on.
I thought I was going to at one point in the day.
Wow.
But yeah. So that was my Taylor Swift story. I hope you all enjoyed.
All works out. Gorgeous worked her magic.
Hell yeah. So with
Can't find
that,
Should we do Panty Riser really quick?
do we have a panty riser?
The blue couch that's going around.
Oh,
Twitter.
it's
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
get,
yeah.
It's gonna
fuck
get
is
too
blue
much.
And Taylor doesn't know.
Yeah, we're gonna have to explain it. I don't think we have time.
Okay, well, tune in next week where we explain, where I will explain the blue couch to Taylor because you two are quitting the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Peace out.
So it'll
I-
just be me explaining the. So I guess stay tuned because me and Taylor will be telling all about the drama that went on behind the scenes and why Nikki and JoJo have quit the pod.
They
Yeah.
will be
This is their last episode.
they will
Fuck
be
you guys.
continuing it as a duo, and
You know, it's been a great run, and
which is this is a great time to announce our new podcast.
yes. It is called the
The Sizzler Sisters.
The Scissor Sisters, and you should tune in every Thursday.
You can't use my spelling of scissor because I've trademarked that.
verbally. Yeah.
Verbally. I'm saying a verbal trademark and the word SIZZOR.
We also are the Fight Eye Femme Fatales.
Yeah.
So
And what questions do you have for us about our new podcast?
And what questions do you have for us about our feud?
yeah, we're beefing hard.
We're beefing hard, so stay tuned for next week's episode where
We're gonna
tell
beat
all.
each other up.
No, we're
No,
not because we
you're
left.
not even gonna be here.
We left.
Oh, you're right.
We're
Peace
done.
out.
We're
It's just
done.
gonna be me and
We're
Taylor.
off. Best of luck to you.
Best of luck to you guys.
Have
I hope
fun
you
with
crash and
her,
burn.
Ryan. Bye.